Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do some reviews on some new Maybelline products that came out. Maybelline just released a bunch of different products and I saw them first on Ulta. You can probably find these also if you want to get them right away. You haven't seen them in stores yet. I got mine at Ulta. You can probably also get them on Amazon, or you can, be patient like other people. I don't know what that's like, being patient and holding off until you find them in your local Walgreens, Walmart, or Target. But I couldn't wait, so I ordered some off of Ulta, and the products I want to talk about today is their 24-hour foundation, which I believe this is like, I don't know if this is like reformulated, they kind of bringing it out, they did new packaging. I never tried the original formula, so this is brand new to me. And then also Maybelline came out with a sponge as well. I know L'Oreal came out with a sponge I think last year, which I really like, so I was curious about the Maybelline one. Normally sometimes like drugstore sponge releases, because I've had bad experiences with some of them, some good, some bad. So I'm just like, normally I wouldn't want to pick one up or really care to try it out, but I was like, L'Oreal came out with one and I love that one, so I had to try out Maybelline's as well. And this is definitely like a different form than what L'Oreal has. And then finally I also picked up their Hydrate and Smooth Primer. I saw Hydrate and I was all about it. So for dry skin, I wanted to see, is like, yes, did the drugstore come out with another hydrating primer? So let's start with the foundation. I love testing out foundations and really trying to find like the next best thing, something that's going to be really great, like a really great option for me to recommend for myself or for other people. Especially my favorite is finding a really great drugstore affordable foundation. So the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Foundation, the fact that it said full coverage, I was all about it. I needed to try it. And I know some people have tried, I've seen like the Superstay, the 24-hour, it was like in a different packaging. I think it was like more rounded. I never tried that foundation. I think I was reading some reviews, some people really liked that one before, so I really wasn't sure what to expect from this. I can't really compare. But what I do like is it has the glass packaging and it's also a pump foundation. So I feel like something for me, I feel like a lot of drugstore foundations, now they're coming out with more pumps, which is nice because that just makes sense, right? But normally it's like, you gotta twist it off and like pour it out. So I was like trying to like twist the top off. Just don't do that, just pull it up. So you can do the pump, because if not you'll probably like crack. I was seeing like parts of it I was cracking off. I was like, oh crap. So the foundation runs for $12 at Ulta if you want to save some money. Wait for a coupon, or just wait for it maybe at like Walmart or Target, or buy one get one 50% off if you feel like maybe you have to mix colors or something. I picked up mine in the shade Classic Ivory 120. I also picked up, I think the next shade, was it like Buff Beige, because I wasn't sure, was I gonna have to mix? I don't know, but Classic Ivory I think is a good shade for me, so I haven't opened the other ones, so I was like, I will probably just return it. I have to say, I agree. I feel like this is definitely full coverage. Like right off the bat, I was impressed with the coverage. I would say maybe I would say it possibly like dries down a little bit quicker. So if you're just, using just the foundation itself, definitely like work in sections, kind of do one side at a time. And honestly, that way, so you can really see, I feel like you really, with this foundation, you really only need one layer because it is full coverage. I feel like this is like the most full coverage like drugstore foundation like right off the bat that I've ever tried. The Milani Conceal and Perfect, I feel like that was like a medium to full coverage. This is full coverage. I was like, wow, holy full coverage. So I was like, I like this. So I would definitely say, yeah. I think if you do like 2 layers, you do run the risk of getting kind of cakey. So definitely just kind of take your time working it into the skin and kind of see how it sets and see like it, just, take your time. Slow it down. Whereas I feel like sometimes you want to like add like 3 pumps, 4 pumps all at once, and no. I would recommend one, maybe like 1.5, like do 1 layer and then kind of see where you maybe need to like spot treat or whatever, any little areas around there, and I think you should be good. They do have 16 colors, and what I really liked is that, at least I know for like my corresponding shade and like say the Fit Me Doing It Smooth, or even like the Fit Me Matte and Poreless, was like the same. So they have like the same numbers, same names, which is always very helpful. I don't know why sometimes like when companies come up with a different foundation, they totally switch up the numbering and everything, so which is really annoying. But so this just makes it easier. It's like, as it was difficult to find my shade in that one category, now you're gonna make me do it all over again. It's like, no, I know my shade and you're coming out with a different type of foundation, so I can, don't you just want me to have like an easier time? Like, please don't make it more difficult for me. So I really appreciate the fact that they kind of kept the numbering and the names the same, so it made it really so much easier for me to kind of like eyeball my foundation shade. The blendability, as I kind of said, you work it into sections to kind of blend it out, just because I do feel like it dries a little bit quicker. But when blending it out, I feel like it's really easy to blend out. It's really smoothly. Even on my dry skin, I feel like someone with normal to oily skin, it might even blend out even easier, even better. I use a beauty blender just because I do have dry skin and I need the extra moisture, because this is probably for my skin almost like satin, hints of like a demi matte. So this is running more on the matter side, so I like to use a sponge for that hydration, whereas like a brush, you know, won't really help me out in that category. But if you have normal to oily skin, definitely try with a sponge, try with a brush. I think you'll really like it. So for the finish, you know, for me, it does feel like a little bit more on the matter side. It is winter time, you know, we're still gonna give our foundations a shot. So I feel like for me, it's running satin, kind of mattifying. So for normal to oily skin, I feel like you might kind of feel matte, maybe more on the satin though. It won't feel as mattifying for you, so this might be like a nice natural finish, full coverage natural finish. I would definitely say normal to oily skin, try it out. For me personally, upon like my first try with this foundation, trying it out, I really didn't know what to expect. And I was applying my foundation and, you know, just going out throughout the day, I was like, wow, I kind of really like this foundation. But when I would kind of go up close, I would kind of notice, you know, it was a little bit, you know, drier in some areas for me, which is normal, which is to be expected. But I was just like, ugh, like I want this to work for me, because the coverage is amazing from like far away. Like honestly, for photos or just on camera, it looked really nice. But then when I would kind of zoom in, because I do have drier skin, I would just kind of notice, you know, maybe like where it was like dry patches where it just wasn't looking as natural of a finish. Like you could tell I was wearing makeup, so I was like, no, we're going to figure this out. Like it's almost there for me, but it just needed that extra hydration and moisture. And I was definitely playing around with my more, maybe even moisturizing primer, which is my Too Faced Hangover RX. It's like the best thing for dry skin, so I was like, maybe it needs a little boost, but it was still like, not there. So for my dry skin girls, because I really do love the coverage of this foundation, I was like, we are going to make this work. So what I did, I added a little bit of my face oil. This is the Fresh face oil. You don't have to use this one. It's definitely a little bit more on the expensive side. I also really like the Sonia Kashuk one from Target, as well as the Pixie Beauty, which you could also find at Target. I just kind of switch around. For right now, I have my expensive one, treat yourself. But I was like, you can do this with any foundation that just needs like that extra boost of hydration, or if you want to kind of like thin it out a little bit, you know, go ahead and use a face oil. I definitely wanted to find a way for this foundation to work for me. I was like, it's missing something. It's missing a little bit of dewiness, a little bit of luminosity for my skin, so that it just looks just as good on my skin as it would look on someone with normal to oily skin. And I was like, what can we do? Another thing that I've been wanting to do is like, I know I will do actually, if the face oil didn't work, I would have been like, you know what? I want to combine this with my Maybelline Fit Me Dewy foundation, because I was like, that has a dewiness, this has a full coverage together. I think that is going to look beautiful. If you guys want to see how that works, you know, let me know, leave a comment down below. Maybe I'll kind of mention it in like a get ready with me. Maybe I'll kind of use that combination. But I feel like this mixed with any of my other like luminous foundations, which sometimes can be like definitely like on the like more lightweight side type of a finish, and this is full coverage, but you kind of want that mixture, definitely go ahead and do that. So try the face oil, try mixing it with your favorite foundation. Dry skin girls, you can still get in on this game. You can definitely try it out. Let me know if you guys have tried any other types of combinations that you really love. You know, if you have dry skin, you kind of wanted to mix it up, or normal to oily skin, do you like mixing this with anything else? I feel like normal oily skin, you're gonna love this either way. But, you know, for my girls, I got you. If you like a full coverage and you have dry skin, definitely try out those tips and tricks so you can have a really great, affordable, full coverage foundation routine. So the next two products I briefly wanted to mention, as you kind of saw in the review and demo, with this foundation I was using my beauty blender, I was using a sponge, and I was also using the Maybelline, their new sponge that they came out with. It looks teeny tiny now, but when you kind of wet it, it gets a little bit bigger, as any sponge would do. This runs for about $6, and I am actually actually enjoying it. I feel like for some reason the first time I tried it, I wasn't too big of a fan. Like it kind of maybe separated my foundation a little bit. I don't know. The first time I used it, I don't know if you need to use it and then wash it or I don't know what. But after that, as I've been using it, I actually like it. I definitely do like it. And I do like the sponge like kind of finish of it because, you know, you kind of have this part that like tapers off into a little point, which is perfect to get underneath your eyes. I feel like that's what was missing from the L'Oreal sponge. I like the sponge, but I feel like the tip was just a little bit fatter. So I mean, if you did want to use it under the eyes, you just kind of have to like squeeze it and go under. But here, all you have to do is just go right under, and then you can use it, you know, like to easily just kind of like bake your foundation, bake underneath, or bake your powder concealer underneath around your face. I really like it. So if you're looking for $6, if you're looking for an affordable sponge to try out, I would definitely give Maybelline sponge a try. Then the last product I wanted to mention was the Hydrate and Smooth Primer. I've used this a couple times. I haven't done like a full-on test, maybe with just a primer on one side and say like my Too Faced primer on the other side with like another foundation, just because honestly during the week I haven't worn too much foundation, if at all. Monday through Friday I really don't, unless I am kind of testing out a foundation, but I got a little bit lazy this past week. I'm glad I received most of this right before Thanksgiving, so that's when I was actually wearing the foundation a lot. But I didn't do the comparison with the primer, but upon application I feel like it's definitely what I liked about it and what reminded me of like that Too Faced or some of my favorite hydrating primers is that it was maybe more of a lotion type of finish as opposed to maybe like those silicone based primers, which I feel like sometimes with those silicone based primers are good for like if you want to fill in pore areas or anything, which isn't something I'm really looking for in a primer. I feel like for me what makes a difference with my foundations is using a hydrating primer. It just helps any foundation I use work. And upon applying this on my face, I definitely felt that like plumping, that kind of hydrating feeling. Like that's what I'm looking for in a primer. I've tried some hydrating primers and I don't really get that, so it just definitely felt maybe this will be like a good alternative to like my Too Faced Hangover RX. Like I'm definitely curious. I still want to play with it. I have been liking it. I feel like I tried hydrating primers, illuminating primers that maybe make my skin look greasy, which is very difficult for dry skin. So the fact that a primer can do that for dry skin is kind of like, ooh, I don't know if anybody else wants to try this. But for this primer, I have been liking it. Definitely want to use a little bit more. Who knows, maybe it could end up in the favorites, but I'll definitely be doing some more comparisons. But for right now, I am liking it. I'm liking it. Hopefully maybe I will love it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that review and demo of some new Maybelline products that came out and or want a revamp. Let me know your thoughts. If you're dry skin, definitely let me know if you have tried it out just on its own, the foundation, and or if you use any of my tips to maybe mix it with an oil or with your other favorite like really dewy foundation, and what type of, you know, results are you getting from that. I'm really excited. I definitely want to try it with my more dewy foundations to see what results I get. So I know in my last video I did mention wanting to try out the Maybelline, what is it, Total Temptations, their new mascara that came out. I don't know why I didn't get it. I should have. And I asked if anybody else was curious about it, and some people said yes. So I looked on Amazon the other day because I do have Prime, and it was sold out, like the very black one. So I was like, damn it. So I would definitely be kind of stalking my local Walgreens, Target, and stuff like that. So, but by the way, I will probably be doing that anyway because new Drugstore releases are coming out. I'm really excited to try some more. Definitely let me know what you guys are interested in seeing some reviews and demos on, either new products or, you know, just some products that have kind of come out but you haven't really reached for and you haven't seen me talk about it. I'll link down below in the description box some other reviews and demos of some Drugstore products that maybe you guys might be interested as well. So thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure to subscribe to keep up with some more videos, and I'll see you guys next time.